Today I'm showing the scripting setup where I can edit functions in a little GUI editor and have non-compiled code that can have different variations. Instead of using a big off-the-shelf system, I ended up making my own. So it's edited in a JavaScript-based editor here. Progress functions are kind of the things that get executed. So I can set a flag in the system. So if I have a flag called X, I can set the value to be foobar or something. I could do other things like adding objectives for AI, playing voiceovers, spawning items, things like that. And so part of this system is a system of inputs, which are simple key value pairs. And this is what allows me to reuse things quite a bit. Because there's brackets, we know that this will be string replaced with an input. So these functions can get executed a number of ways. There can be a function attached to a sentence that a character speaks. They can be attached to things like trigger regions. If I go back to Unity, this trigger region invokes the function called setup NPC conversation when it starts. So that will kind of tell these two NPCs to be waiting for a conversation. And then when the region is entered by the player, it will trigger the NPC conversation. And here you can see the key value pairs of inputs. So that setup NPC conv looks something like this, where it has two input variables. Again, these just trying to get string replaced with whatever you put in on that particular one. So overall, these are very simple building blocks to put together. The code is pretty straightforward. The function pretty much just calls in an execute, and that varies a little bit between classes. So wait uses Unity coroutines to wait for a certain amount of time. Progress functions is a bit longer, but it's really just a bunch of switch cases and doing easy things like in our setup NPC conv example, replacing the NPC names and then adding the wait in place order to those NPCs. Implementing a standard third-party package like full Python or Lua interpretation might allow for a little more complexity, but it's a huge overhead both in terms of the amount of code that gets added to the project and the amount of things that I as a solo developer need to learn and keep track of. And so this system really just has the exact basic necessities that I need in terms of scripting out a level.